of fresh juices. Fresh juices are packed with soluble fiber, a type of fiber that supports good bacteria growth and digestive health. It has been shown to regulate blood sugar levels, lower cholesterol, and slow the transit of food through the digestive tract.
Health Check in association with
Natural Juicing Center. You can now book for any service or order for food supplements on our website www.naturaljuicingcenter.co.ke. You can also visit our center in Kahawa Sukari, house number 1334, Kahawa Sukari Avenue. Natural Juicing Center. Your health is your wealth.
like, follow, subscribe, click the notification button. Join the Lookup TV movement now.
Dreams may grow a root in our hearts from as young as our preteen years. Many times as we grow, our dreams and aspirations change. But such is not the case for Mathew Nyamlori. For him, he's held his dream on getting an education for 33 good years. Mathew faced challenges while studying. His family simply could not afford to pay tuition fees for him and his 12 siblings. Despite all that, he never gave up. Scoring straight A's most of his life, Mr. Nyamlori knew that one day things would change for the better. Despite it all, Mathew knew what his heart wanted, and still, in spite all his efforts, he still remains unemployed to this date. An A student, eager to further his studies with a master's degree, his dream remains unanswered, as a master's degree is quite costly. What does it say in terms of our nation's education and employment avenues? With a man so determined, a man so undeterred by the constraints of time, surely a helping hand can reach out to him. This is your story with me, Jomo Chache.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nyamlori, for welcoming us into your home. Could you maybe tell us who Mr. Mathew Owl Nyamlori is and take us back to when you were growing up?
Oh, I'm Mathew Owl Nyamlori, a graduate from Kenyatta University, a policy expert. There's also a guy who broke the record in taking KCP, and a serial KCP taker in Kenya.
Serial KCP taker?
Yes.
Taking them over and over again.
9 times.
Record?
Yes.
9 times?
9 times.
No one has ever reached that amount of times.
I don't think if there is somebody who has ever sat for the same exam and passing all 9 times. Yeah.
But that's what makes your story special, because
exactly.
Yeah. It seems that a lot of people are encouraged by the tenacity that you have.
Yes.
And the endurance that you have in making sure your dreams have been achieved.
Yes.
Could you maybe start by letting us know how it was growing up? Tuanzie hapo tukienda mbele.
Okay. I was born in a very humble background, as in we were living in abject poverty, of which getting daily meal was a problem. And my first time to wear shoes was when I joined Form 1 Kanga High School. That was the year 2000. But I was born actually in different region from my area.
Okay.
I come from Nyakach, but it happened my parents migrated to Bomet long time ago. I found myself speaking Kipsigis. I was staying there, fluent Kipsigis, and my mom and my dad, they were casual laborer those side. So they could go milk or weed farms and bring food. You know, I am the 9th born.
You're the 9th born?
In the family of 13.
Wow.
So we were many, more than football team.
Enough to create a football team and have a referee and...
linesman, yes.
Okay, so you grew up in abject poverty. Umesema hata kiatu kukiona mpaka sometime.
It was hard because me, when I was growing up, all of us used to be introduced to join the family labor. I think I started going to weed with my parents at as early as class 2.
Class 2?
Yes.
You had a job in class 2.
Yes, you go, you weed, even you take one line of maize. You weed when people are taking 4 or 5, the bigger one, you are taking one, struggle with it. You are also supporting the family, at least you clear it in time, you get something to go on it. And it was even kind of barter, kind of trade. You weed, you were given maize to go and grind and have unga.
For ugali? For
ugali, yes.
Okay, sawa sawa. And what happened after that?
It was unfortunate that during the reintroduction of multi-party system in Kenya in 1992, we were Luos living in Kipsigis.
Okay.
And our house was set ablaze. And being that we were in school by then, the two of us, me and the brother I'm following, my mom and dad they ran away. They left us in school with some with the two, and my mom went home with other kids and other siblings, and some other elder siblings. They were not around within the Rift Valley. They were hustling outside. So you saw we remained two. I was in class 3. My brother was in class 5. The one I'm following. So where we were staying, it was a boundary of Kisii and Kipsigis. So we were staying in this area of Kipsigis. So because KANU was in power and KANU was being supported by Kipsigis, Oginga Odinga was a Luo, and they introduced, and Anyona was a Kisii, and they introduced multi-partyism. Oginga Odinga introduced Fort Anyona, his party. So they were also fighting Kisis. My dad ran away in Kisii because Luos and Kisii had no problem. There was a problem between Kipsigis, Kisii, Kipsigis, Luos, Kipsigis, Kikuyus. So we ran away. They ran away, we remained. The AP, there was an AP also around, and he was living around. He decided to adopt me, and another person adopted my brother.
Really?
So there we were to be family labor workers, as in you are helping, milking, weeding, then you go to school.
You do that in the morning, Ama?
Yeah, I used to wake up at 5:30. I go milk.
You do the weeding?
After milking, I rush to the roadside, taking so that it can be ferried to KCC. You have to rush it in time. Gari siache. After that, I come back, I prepare, I go to school. In the evening, after games, I rush, I go, I must make sure I run home earlier. I go and weed a bit, then fetch some water, then wait for tomorrow's course. Weekend, full time now, weeding and taking care of dairy animal.
So this is under the adoption of?
Yes, under the adoption of the AP officer. He later became the chief of the area.
And this is in primary school around which class?
Class 3, 4.
Class 3, 4.
From class 3 to class 8.
What?
Staying with him, yeah.
3 to 8, that was your life?
That was my life.
When did you get time to do your homework? Kama ni hivyo?
Yeah, homework was unafanya ukiwa shule.
Ndi kabla hata ukuje home?
Kabla hata ukuje home. Or hata usiku sasa umemaliza nini around, umekula saa 2, una make sure unalala hata saa 4, saa 5 ukifanya homework kidogo. And you know, during our times, homework haikuanga mingi. The only homework we used to have was maybe maths and ancient composition. And ancient composition, we were being given, I think, weekend, Friday. So you take it back on Monday.
Okay. Aside from the chores that you had, would you say that you enjoyed going to school? Would you say books were something you enjoyed spending time with? I mean, it was more of a burden like most children.
It happens that I was blessed with brain because I was not putting more effort, and still I used to be number 1, 2. Yes, yeah. I used to be number 1, 2 because I was living in hardship. Because whatever I was performing in order to rush to class to get food was hard. Not unlike other pupils where their parents were being babysitting. They could get everything at ease. Me, if you don't work, you are censored, and unapigiwa kelele. So you have to work and you have to be disciplined because the person you are living with is not your relative, nor your any of your relatives. You are living with a different person.
A stranger.
A different language, yes. Speaking different language, yes. That was it. So you have to be disciplined, you have to be hard work.
Okay.
Both in the farm and the school.
Okay.
School was mine, but the farm to please him. Yes.
School was pleasing you, but the farm was to please him.
Yes.
I see. So even at that age, you had your dreams and aspirations. School was simple for you.
Yes. You know what also what also motivated me during those days. They were organizing the education days. Education day is a case whereby the school in the zonal give present to those who perform well, who were called to good schools, to those who sat for KCSE and scored great to join university. But you know, those who were joining university were being awarded heavily.
Oh.
Given bulls, to be given goats. What you see, one person joining. I saw there was a person who went to Njoro Boys and he scored a B. He was to join to go do BCom in the university. He was really awarded. I said, hey, Kumbe, this is serious and this is good.
It's good.
And during my struggle also, I was also comparing when I saw a high school teacher who was graduated, the life is living is different with other people. So I was saying, when you get a quality education, even your living standard will change. So that was a motivating factor to me.
That was what motivated you?
Yes.
Even getting those gifts if you perform well?
If you perform well, yani mcheza kwao utuzwa. If you perform well, you're gonna get a good thing and you're gonna get a good job and you're gonna at least lift and reduce the poverty in my home.
Right. Clearly education means a lot to you. Can you now describe to us the process, what happened in class 8 start with class 7 as you headed into class 8 for your KCP?
I continue helping the chief or the police officer until I sat for my first KCP in 1998.
1998?
1998.
Okay.
I scored 478 and I was admitted at Kabianga High School.
Those are good marks.
Kabianga High School used to be a good school by then, and actually, but I couldn't even pick that letter because who was to take me? The contract between my chief, me and the chief had ended. So what? You
mean after class 8 now, you and the chief had nothing to do with each other?
Yes.
Okay.
So after that, my aunt talked to me to go repeat at Rongo. She told me Rongo is producing some good guys going to Staré Alliance, so I think you better come and try that you can get scholarship. I went to Rongo.
For your second attempt? For
the second attempt. I registered for KCP. I studied. I scored 505 and I was admitted at Kanga High School.
At 505?
Out of 700.
Wow.
I was admitted at Kanga High School. And then my distant hand opted to support me join Kanga. I joined Kanga in the year 2001 now, 2001. This my aunt also had issues with the family because my aunt, the sisters had also children who required fee, but though they used not to perform well as I was performing. So they started, there was a squabble and family's crisis, even the husband to my aunt was not happy that she's paying me school fees.
The husband to your auntie was not happy that?
That the distant aunt, as in like they're cousin to my mom. Okay. They are cousin to my mom, but she was a head teacher of a special school in Migori. Okay. So there was a squabble in the family. She dropped me into 2001. And you know, she was dropping me, and yet I used to perform very well. I used to be in top 10, top 30 overall, all streams. So she dropped me in second term, and I joined now Mijengo industry.
Majengo? No, you became a construction worker.
Yeah, fundi boy. Unasaidia, leta matofari. Leta kokoto, leta simiti. that was it. I joined that.
Willingly, Ama?
I had no option. I had no option because at home, told you our house was set ablaze, and my parents went there and put up as an hut, a simple structure, grass type house where when it rains you have to look on where to stand. If you sit down, you will be ready. It is like you are outside. So you see, it was the poverty in my family was also motivating me to work hard, and that one also propelled me. Mm.
Okay, and by the time that you were doing this, you joined Majengo. How many times had you attempted your KCP by that time?
Twice.
That was your second time?
That was my second time. I went Kanga. After dropping in Kanga High School is when I joined now Majengo, because now I was grown, almost reaching 18. Almost, I think 16, 17. Yeah, I think I was 16, even 16, 17. But I was now, at least, I should do something for myself. I should not be begging. So in 2002, I had to go and receipt for KCP because I had nothing to convince somebody to go and pay for me. I went to Kitere Primary. It is a neighboring school at Kanga. And then I enrolled for class 8 again. I was living in a certain structure in school. Over the weekend, I moved to Rongo, go do Mijengo. It was a terrible life. Then I sat for KCP. Now it had changed from 700 to 500. I scored 387. I was admitted. I was called to Kanga High School. Kanga High School. Not Kanga. It was Rapogi. I was called to Rapogi. Rapogi, I didn't even pick the letter because I was at Kanga. Somebody talked to me and took me to that school and later dropped me. Rapogi and Kanga was at far. I had no one to go support me. 2003, my fourth attempt, I went to Sony Sugar Primary, Awendo. This time I'm growing. I've started growing, almost now 19. I used to perform extremely well in classwork, getting 400, beating my number 2 with like 10, 20 marks, giving a big range. So that one makes made student to fear me, insulting me, and they were respecting me. But the people I had problems with are the people outside, the people, this border rider, this sugarcane cutter.
Why did you have problems?
They used to abuse me. They used to insult me. They used to tell me names when they see you in uniform going to school. They used to insult me. I don't know why. So those were the people having problem with me. And this is the reason why I used to move. I'm from Rongo. I went to Kanga, Kitere Primary, Sori Suga Primary. They are distant. So where there I get new people, new faces. When they get to know me, I'm done with KCP. I move to another different place. So in 2004, I went to Rangwe Junior Academy. Now I was put in boarding. The director accepted that I was put in boarding. Due to the conducive environment, I sat for KCP and I got a score 134 out of 500. 434.
434 out of 500.
I was admitted to Maseno. At Sony Sugar, I scored 399. I was admitted. I was called to Rapogi again. So Maseno, I went to Maseno, frequented there like 9 times, traveling, asking them. I'd paid 7,000 from my Mujengo industry, sweat. They accepted in second term. I joined Maseno school. I struggled in Maseno. 2006, I had dropped because of lack of fees again. The fee had accumulated to like 99K, and no one was willing to support me. I had gone, I had visited my MP, the necessary funding group like Christian, whatever. I had no one was willing to support me.
So you actually went out and requested for assistance in terms of fees, but no one was willing to do.
Several, I was even excommunicated in some churches. Well, I went to so many people. Most of them are alive and they are seeing me. I went to them. I don't want to quote their names, but I went to them. I went to the churches. Even the churches I was fellowshipping with before, when I'm doing KCP, when I'm in class 8, I used to go to church. All along, even the same church sending you success card. You have scored 434, you have been admitted to a national school. Still no one is willing to support you. And these same churches I was, you get somebody, they do pre-wedding around it. They raised 150 for the wedding.
For
they
wedding.
Could not raise 1,000 per year for me to sit in Maseno school. It was not easy. It was a tough life. No one was ready to sympathize with me. I dropped out of Maseno in 2006 because of fee. I was very tired. Now it was hard for me. I was disappointed because even Maseno was a top school, a lead school, yet nobody is willing to support you while you are inside there. You are a good performer. I came to Nairobi now to do real Mujengo. He was there in Nairobi now. That was 2007. So from 1989, when I started nursery school, it is only 2007 is when I was outside the school. But it as if I sat in class for like 33 good years for me to graduate. It was only 2007 is when I was not in school. Only 2007. I was doing full-time again.
Continuously in school apart from 1 year.
1 year.
Which in 2007 you decided to do what you?
I was here living in Madare Valley, trekking all the way to those industrial area, trekking Eastland, moving, looking for Mujengo. Then you could not accumulate money to support you. You could not get enough money for your support. You do Mujengo later on, hand and mouth.
Hand to mouth, yeah.
2 years without even buying a good cloth, a good shoes. You are there and you have nothing at hand. I said, no, I'm going back to school. And in Mujengo also, you are being mistreated because you are treated as the most unskilled person in the field. You are the first person to report and the last person to leave after clearing all the tools used that time. And you are even insulted and abused, not knowing that you are not a fool. You have gone to some of the best schools in the country.
And that you're quite bright. It's just that you don't know that trade.
Yes. So I had to go back to Uyugis, Agorosare. And when I was in Madare also, there was a problem with Mugiki. They were really disturbing by then. You come late, they taxed you. They taxed you for you to pass the bridge. You have to pay entry fee, and if you don't pay, they kill you. They are pangas. There was a struggle in Madare Valley in the slum, and that was the time during PNU and ODM. Struggle between PNU and ODM. I had to leave. I left for Ugis and I talked to the head teacher, Agorosare Primary. He accepted me in.
Accepted you to the school?
Into the school. I registered. And I was staying in one of the deserted classroom. And in the afternoon, evening, I go with people's farm. Weekend, I go for Mujengo. Then I struggle like that. I sat for KCP. I scored 394. I was admitted to. I was called to Maranda High School. I didn't go to Maranda. I didn't go because of fee. So there was no need of struggling again.
But surely at this point, someone must have believed in you enough to assist you.
Nobody was believing in me. You know, we are living in the society. Anyway, let me say, where I'm coming from, there is something called as egocentric. Somebody, him and his family is enough. The other person, no. Because you can get that somebody is here, or even a relative is here, is well-to-do, can support somebody to get basic education, not willing to support, and he has more than enough. That is what was happening in the society I was coming from. And
They have more than enough to support you, but they choose not to.
And I presented myself. I was not hiding. I presented myself, and I deserved to be helped. No one was willing to help. 2009, I met a pastor at a school here in Ndulele, Aldorebi Junior Academy. I scored 400. I was in Kapsabeth Boys High School. In Kapsabeth Boys, I didn't go.
Hey, you got accepted to so many places. You got accepted to so many high schools.
So many top performing school. Maranda is top 10. Kapsabeth, Maseno, yeah, Kanga. All of them were good schools. I didn't go to Kapsabeth. 2010, I went to Agape Junior Academy. Sitting, that was the 8th time now.
8th.
In 2009, in 2010, I went to Agape Academy, and I sat for KCPE, and I was admitted to. I was called to Miranda. I didn't go. 2011, that was the turning point. Being the 9th born in the family of 13, my 9th attempt, I sat at already primary school in Homa Bay. I scored 4.3, admitted to Nairobi school. That is when Equity Bank came to my rescue, and I got scholarship finally. That was the turning point of my life. Yes.
You were the happiest man on earth after Equity Bank came in and saved you and gave you
Full scholarship.
Full scholarship.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing. Let's take a break at this point. When we come back, we're going to continue with Mr. Nyamlori's story and his successes after that. Don't go too far. You're watching Your Story with me, Joy Mochache.
Health Check in association with
Natural Juicing Center. Your health is your wealth.
Benefits of fresh juices. Fresh juices are packed with soluble fiber, a type of fiber that supports good bacteria growth and digestive health. It has been shown to regulate blood sugar levels, lower cholesterol, and slow the transit of food through the digestive tract.
Health Check in association with
Natural Juicing Center. You can now book for any service or order for food supplements on our website www.naturaljuicingcenter.co.ke. You can also visit our center in Kahawa Sukari, house number 1334, Kahawa Sukari Avenue. Natural Juicing Center. Your health is your wealth.
like, follow, subscribe, click the notification button. Join the Lookup TV movement now.
Welcome back to Your Story with me, Joy Mochache. Before we went on break, Mr. Nyamlori shared with us that Equity Bank is what came to his aid and gave him the chance that he so much deserved. Why don't we get the rest of that story right now? You were sharing with us that you were the most happiest man when Equity Bank decided to give you the scholarship. What happened in your life after that?
I said I was the happiest man actually because it was the turning point after going through humiliation, after going through hardship, attending through national school, Kanga Masen, doing KCP, sitting for KCP 9 times, spending 23 years in primary. I was very happy. I came out with some amount because of sympathetic of the panelists. used the amount to travel home to apply for national ID. It was the time I applied for my national ID because I knew now the process. This one I'll go direct to university. I'll never stop and I'll never repeat any class. I knew it. The problem was fee, but after getting the school fee, I knew I'll go straight.
You knew you'd just go straight. Okay, so I'm wondering by this time your family, how they were feeling. I think they must have felt so proud, so happy, so relieved that finally things are working out.
They were very happy. Even my dad was very happy because even the letter of scholarship, the one for the garden or the parent I took to my father, and he was very happy person. He was very happy. I saw he was very happy. And it was the turning point of everything in my family.
Okay.
Because it had been a long struggle. You know, family of 13, only 3 making it to secondary school. You can know what we were going through.
Okay.
Yes.
And only 3 made it to secondary school. How about university?
Only one, me.
Only 1 out of 13. Mpaka sahi kuna mwingine ameingia university hata form 1, I mean sorry, the first year.
I'm the last person to be in high school, by the way. The rest, even the younger one, some had dropped, some had. My follower went to a day school and he got a C. He's a police officer. He was lucky to be picked in Kiganjo, to go to Kiganjo training, and he's now currently a police officer.
Your sibling?
Yeah, the one I'm following. The one I'm following went to Starehe Boy Center, and I don't know, he never liked going to university, but he made it. He was supposed to join, to go do education, though he's working in Georgia Senior School Preparatory, as I think administrator there, teaching history.
Okay. And moving on, after you now joined university, let us share with our audience what that was like.
Before I joined university, the life in Nairobi school. Equity has picked me, and I'm going to school in almost late 20s, sharing class with people with 14 years. Late 20s and your desk mates around you. Yes. So I was very I was made a prefect right from Form 1 to Form 4. That was a happy part, and I maintained my class, performed well up to Form 4 level. I think even in mathematics we were the best. We had almost 48 out of 52 A planes.
48 out of 52?
A plane in mathematics.
Even A minus?
A planes. So we were good and cooperative class, and also teachers in Nairobi. In fact, of all the school I attended, the school which had the best teachers and caring teachers, motherly and fatherly, is Nairobi.
As you know, they were like your mothers and fathers there.
Yes, I got a very good principal. That was Mr. Tirot. He's currently vying for Usingisu County. Yes, I want to be the governor there. He later became the TSC commissioner, and then moved to, now he's joining politics. But he was the best. I've never met a principal like him. I have never.
What made him stood out so much?
I don't know, because he could talk to me, call me and talk to me. If nobody will touch you, you just learn, just be disciplined, and tell those boys that going to school is the best thing. These jokers. Yeah. So he had faith in me. Because, I was also, I was disciplined, because the people I shared with class had never done mjengo in their lives. Their life, whatever, was smooth. You know, my graph was something like hyperbolics. My graph was very terrible. Going coming back,
up and down.
Mjengo, dropping, doing what? That's a lot of adults. So I had different life history. So I had to behave differently.
Yes, I see.
So I struggled there until the only problem I had in Nairobi school, that my mom lost sight when I was in Form 2. Yeah, that was the major problem. But the rest, I was okay.
Okay.
It affected me a bit psychologically. So I had to.
Pole sana.
I was dividing the shopping hampers for Equity, taking home pocket money, sending home at least to make my mom stable. That was it.
Okay,
It's really terrible.
I see. And in terms of, how can I say, finishing up with your high school education and moving on to university.
I went for charcoal business. I was picking charcoal in Kilgore, selling it to Yugis. I used it to improve somehow the house of my mom, and also I connected electricity to my family using the charcoal business before reporting to KU. So it was a turning point, telling people that education is the key to success. When you have education, you have an expanded mind of which you can initiate any project and you make it to success. So I reported to KU, and KU I used help. I applied for help. I was awarded 45,000 per year from help. So this one was covering full-time tuition fee. So I had no problem with fee. So whatever I was looking for, what to eat, how to feed myself. Doing that, now I was skilled and I could do article writing. I do article academic writing sometimes, but mostly article writing. Somebody calls you and tells you, I want to post this and this, do for me concerning this story. I write the story, I send it, and then I get 2,000, 1,000. It maintained me until I graduated.
Graduated. Tell us about that fateful day. I wish I was there.
And that was another happiest moment in life. I had two occasions, being picked by Equity and graduating from KU.
You graduated on July 20th.
23rd. It was really enjoyable day because it was an history, it is inspirational books telling people that you can make it. You can fall several times, and through determination, you can make it in life. I got my undergrad degree after struggling at the age of 38 years old, after doing KCP 9 times, after being in school for 33 good years. I started schooling in 1989, and it was only 2007 is when I was outside the school. It was a good celebration. I made sure my parents attended my party and my graduation day. It was the happiest moment to them also.
Yes. I must say congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was the happiest moment. It is not easy. Came from a very humble background, struggle alone, made it alone without. Only the assistant was high school Equity and the help. None of my relatives, none of my friends chipped in even to send me 100 or 200 for unga. I made it solo. Alone.
You and God.
Lone ranger. Me and God and me, myself.
Yes.
And I graduated.
And you graduated. Well, you must be proud of yourself, and I think this makes you an unstoppable man.
Exactly.
And once again, we're very happy for you, and I know the sky is not the limit. Najua we ni hata kupita. Kwenda na kupita. My curiosity is, finally, as we're closing our interview, maybe you can tell us a little bit about when you were going through all the, I guess, rejections and people not helping you with the school fees. How would you say it made you feel in terms of selection of these bursaries that you applied for, scholarships you applied for, you never got them, despite the fact that you're a good performer in class? How would you speak about that? Because I think that's a problem in our country.
Exactly. That is why I went to pursue public policy. Policy, which means there's gaps in policy for CDF, bursary, and awarding for grants for needy students and needy people in the society. So the government must look into the policy. Policy deals with problem. Policy deals with managing problem in an organization. So we have a wide gap in the Ministry of Education, and we have a wide gap in the awarding of bursary in the CDF, GAF, and whatever. So the government or the parliament should enact sound policy to make sure that in the selective process, they select the real person to deserving to be awarded. Because it is unfortunate that I attended and I applied for bursary. I applied for CDF. I went to these leaders, my leaders, my MPs. I went to people who were able and some churches crying for them to support me. And unfortunately, I was not given or I was not awarded a bursary. And even when I was in KU, I applied for university bursaries. I've been hearing them announcing for the checks, come and pick, we have given the student. And unfortunately, I have never been awarded or given any bursary. Even attaching the letter for scholarship for equity, they were given, and all the scholars were given letters showing that Equity Group Foundation sponsored me in high school. Still, I could not be given bursary even when I was in the university. You can see how selective they are in choosing whoever to be given this bursary.
I wonder what the criteria is.
They can't tell you because when after taking your application form, you don't know the process. You just wait if your name will be published to be among the awardees or the people who have been awarded. Yes.
The awardees. Okay. And what next? What next for Mr. Nyamlori? What are you doing now, and what would you like to do next? What is your life comprised of at the moment?
At the moment,
Now that you're done with school.
the boy child trended in social media, international-wide. I've done my story more than 10 times. I'm everywhere, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, websites, and there are these phonics, Opera Mini. They did my story and they posted, and I think my story is known worldwide, and it is unfortunate. Gotten any job.
You've not gotten any employment.
Any employment, formal employment, after all this story. So I don't know if, I've been asking myself, is it because I am a boy child? Or was it that I was a lady? Let's assume that I was a girl, going through all this and graduating at the age of 39. Do you think it would have not drawn any attention of any organization to call me or even for appreciating me? I see people have been appreciated. Some people are being given even to go to holiday in Mombasa, to go do what? You get somebody breastfeeding while playing in the field, being appreciated fully. It was good to appreciate, yes. Somebody doing the story of a girl child who has graduated with first class and taking care of. Yeah, I saw that certainly. It was good, yes. Many organizations came and she was supported. And I'm not done anything, but I know God's time is the best.
God's time is the best. I was just about to tell you, it will come. It will come.
Yeah.
Yes, it will come. That employment will come in a big way. And I wish you the best. Apart from employment, I know that you're a man who loves his books. So I'm guessing, hapa ndani kwa maisha yako, you also want to do some further studies?
Exactly. If I can get somebody who will pay for my masters, I can go apply even tomorrow. I do master and PhD. I'm there, and I have the brain I can learn. I'm willing to go on with my studies to the peak.
To the peak.
It's only that I lack the funds.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Nyamlori, for having us, for creating the time to speak to us. I know you've spoken to many people, but we value your story, and we know that someone out there will be encouraged.
Exactly. Asante sana, Joy, for coming. Thank you for coming. My story, I do like telling my story because to inspire, to give hope to the hopeless. I've heard many a times people are committing suicide because they have been retrenched in the workplace, they have lost their job or businesses. Students are committing suicide. But when somebody goes to the YouTube and watch my story, he will be inspired. It's a part of giving back to this community. That is why whoever called me to go give out my story, I'll be happy giving out for free. So to give hope to the hopeless.
To give hope to the hopeless.
So that at least people work hard in life.
Sure thing.
You can try, do this business, it falls, you do this, you fall. final one, it will manifest. God will manifest, and you will celebrate later on. Like me celebrating after sitting KCP 9 times. Now I'm an undergraduate. I am ready to interact with anybody in the world, or go to any international university or national, apply for master later on PhD. So when you fall, don't remain where you have fallen. Rise up and start another.
Of course.
That is.
When you fall, don't remain where you're fallen. Rise up and start something else.
Yes.
This has been your story with me, Joy Muchache. We have been talking to Mr. Nyamlori, a man who spent 33 years getting his education and now has finally graduated from Kenyatta University. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next episode.
Dear viewers, I'm a life coach in nature and a counselor. If you want to reach me, you can get me from Facebook, Mathew Nyamlori. That is my Facebook account. My number is 0721 816 523. Call me in case you want or anything else, or in case you have gotten somewhere to place me, to join you, do the work in your company or your organization. Thank you.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 07